All right, guys, let's take a closer look at the Islander watch, ISL-138, the GMT, the watch. I kind of brushed on this in the unboxing of this watch, and I feel like this is one of the ones that I really should not sleep on. You should probably pick one of these up if it's in your price point and if you like the looks of it now, because the price is $695. I know it's still a lot of money. It's $700. I get it. But when Mark put this watch out originally, it was basically $1,095 and maybe a couple of deals on that. But I really don't think he's going to go any lower than that. This is like him just moving on sort of thing. He took a risk. This was a watch that I'm speculating here. Okay, first of all, I'm speculating. But if you look at the timeline of when this was released, it was literally about the same time that the NH34 from Seiko and the 9075 from Miyota was released, or at least the information on it. And this isn't a watch that, the team over at Islander or Mark just designed and put out and it was made in a month. This was something that took months and months and months of work to accomplish. And unfortunately, the timing of it kind of screwed them a little bit, because this has the Swiss-made Sellita SW330-2 in it, which is not a traveler's GMT. It is, it has the date in one direction and the GMT moves forward only in the other direction. So it's more of a caller's GMT, but it is just a great looking watch. You have the quality Swiss movement in there, which is a lot of people's preference, and in many cases it's mine as well. And a nice looking, well-sized watch that is, for the most part, an affordable price point. It's just the timing of it was bad. So unfortunately for Mark, fortunately for us, we can take advantage of a lower price point and you can have this great watch. And I don't think you're going to see something like this again. I don't think you're going to see an Islander with a Swiss GMT movement in it again, is my point. So if you want one, now's the time to get one, or just be, looking on the secondary market. But if you want one new, which I prefer new shiny things, then now is the time to get it at $695 from Islander Watch. So I'll put a link in the description down below. Mark did send this watch directly to me. I've talked to Mark for years and years and years. He's a great asset to the watch enthusiast community. And I've been talking to him since the early days of before even my channel. So, and he's always been very helpful and supportive. So when I said, hey, would you be interested in sending over the Islander ISL-138? He said, absolutely. Shoot me your address. And he sent it right over. So super cool of him to do so. Now, with him doing that, he didn't say that, like, I have to say anything. Like, it's completely transparent. I can say and do whatever I want. So I will point out a couple of downsides that I have with this watch. But overall, I think it's a great value option. Now that I rambled for 3.5 minutes nearly, we can get into the size. It is a 40 millimeter case, 46.2 millimeter lug to lug. Thickness is just over 12 at 12.1 millimeter. You have a 20 millimeter lug opening, and the bracelet tapers down to 18 millimeter. You have a 6 millimeter screw down crown, keeping the 200 meter water resistance. Nice looking bracelet paired up with this guy. It looks very luxury. And I have to say the bracelet feels great, just like the watch does. The clasp is a little basic. 4 micro adjust on that. Why are we not focusing? Come on, we can do this. Okay, 4 micro adjust on that. You have a milled center section, and it's just a pressure fit, and then a fold over clasp signed. If I can open this up, there we go. You have a really nice case back, very smooth. It's nice deep engraving, but there's no hot spots on that, no sharp edges at all. It's very smooth on wrist and to the touch. Very premium-like. You have a bi-directional bezel, and I have to say, in the clockwise way, it has a very nice tactile feel. And the counterclockwise feel, it's a little rougher feeling. It's not consistent in both directions. And I don't know how the mechanism works to accomplish that. So that's just a small gripe, but it is nice that it is bi-directional. At least they gave us that, right? Sapphire bezel insert. Another thing that I really like on watches that I'm discovering over the course of seeing thousands of watches. For some reason, I like that metal inner ring in between the bezel and the crystal. And this one has it. So I don't know why. It's just a design thing that I really like. I also like the symmetry of this dial with the 12, 3, 6, and 9, kind of like an explorer dial at the cardinal positions, not upsetting the balance and stuffing the date in between the 4 and the 5 doesn't really pop out. It just is clean in there. Also, love the handset, very broad, all framed in white with the black center part to just kind of make them look like they're floating. And then we have an airplane GMT hand that looks like it's a airplane with wings, right? Love that look. It looks great. You have a nice stark white seconds hand sweeping around at 4 hertz. And you have a nice balance of text on the dial. The Islander logo just below the 12, the Islander brand, GMT, automatic 200 meter Swiss movement. We're going to have pretty good lume in this thing. The 6mm crown, I know it fits the case good and clears the bezel. I wish it was just a little bit larger. Not a big deal though, it's still easy to manipulate. The only other gripe I have, and I know there's a reason why, but I can't, I don't know, I just can't get on board with it necessarily, is the screw pins used here have, I don't know what it's called. It has like a flex head on it. So like when you unscrew it, the screw part of it is like just tethered to the pin. Well, when I was sizing this up, one of them broke off. Like it broke off the pin. So I don't know if that's the exception and not the norm. If you guys have an Islander watch and it's happened to you, chime in. Let me know. I don't know what that system is called, but I know that's the system that is used on pretty much, as far as I know, all of the Islander bracelets. So maybe I just had bad luck with that one. I mean, I'm not a professional watchmaker, so I can't say that it's not 100% my fault, but I can say I'm a very experienced bracelet sizer, and I didn't do anything weird or abnormal. So that would be my only gripe, really. Just those couple little things. Other than that, I think you're getting a lot of watch for the money, and it's a very striking looking, very good looking watch, and it wears great on wrist. Let me pop it on wrist right now so you can see what that looks like. It presents very well. This is on my 7.25 inch wrist, sized up, and it just wears and looks great. I love the Pepsi or the blue on top, red on bottom, and then you have the two-tone black with the white inner chapter ring, and then that cardinal 12, 3, 6, 9, and then that super, super easy to read handset. Very clean. So overall, I think you're getting a heck of a lot of watch, just like you expect with all of the Islander watches. I have a couple of other ones as well, and they're killing it. They have a lot of great value for the amount of money that you spend. Let's give this a quick blast with the UV light and check out the lume. And again, I have to say big thanks to Mark over at Island Watch for sending this over. Check out the lume. That's what you get with kind of micro brands. Islander is, I would say it's still kind of in its infancy. It's still technically a micro brand in my opinion. At some point, it's probably going to progress past that, maybe sooner rather than later. With the amount of SKUs that the brand has, it's mind-blowing. Pretty much any kind of watch you can possibly think of that you want is going to be in the Islander lineup at a very affordable price point and USA stock. So quick, fast shipping from a reputable seller. Great lume on this as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.